On the surface, Peaky Blinders is a tale of gangsters, violence, and ruthless survival in post-war England. But beneath the bloodshed and chaos, do some characters exhibit stoic strengths? In today's video, we'll explore if three pivotal figures, Tommy Shelby, Ada Thorne, and Michael Gray, can embody stoic principles amidst the brutality that surrounds them. From Tommy's calculated calm during violent confrontations to Ada's ability to rebel against the family and Michael's cold, calculated ambition, these characters reveal the tension between external chaos and internal mastery. So let's dive into how stoicism contrasts with the violence of Peaky Blinders and determine whether these principles can even be compatible. Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders embodies the essence of a badass through a mix of intelligence, ruthless determination, and an unwavering calm under pressure. His character is iconic for several reasons. Cold-blooded leadership. Tommy leads the Shelby family with a strategic mind and an iron will. He commands respect from both allies and enemies, often outsmarting powerful figures like politicians, gangsters, and police. His ability to stay several steps ahead of his opponents, paired with his unflinching resolve, makes him a force to be reckoned with. Unshakable, calm. One of Tommy's defining traits is his ability to remain cool under extreme pressure. Whether it's a tense negotiation, a life-threatening situation, or emotional turmoil, Tommy rarely shows fear or panic. His demeanor allows him to maintain control even when things are spiraling out of hand, making him appear almost invincible. Fearless risk-taking. Tommy isn't afraid to take dangerous risks if it means furthering his goals. Whether it's going head-to-head with dangerous crime bosses or executing daring schemes, he constantly puts himself in peril, showing that he's not intimidated by anything or anyone. His willingness to face death on his own terms enhances his tough, fearless persona. Resilience. Despite carrying deep emotional scars, including PTSD from World War I, Tommy never lets his trauma weaken him. He uses his pain as fuel to push forward, embodying the archetype of a hardened survivor. His ability to endure personal loss, heartbreak, and betrayal while still striving for success is a testament to his mental toughness. Master of intimidation. Tommy's quiet intensity and sharp gaze are often enough to intimidate anyone who crosses him. He doesn't need to rely on brute force. His presence alone demands respect. When he does need to act, his violence is calculated and swift, making him a feared figure without ever seeming reckless. Unconventional morality. Tommy operates by his own code, which often sets him apart as a ruthless anti-hero. He's willing to make morally questionable decisions to protect his family and expand his empire. This complex morality gives him depth, as he can be both merciless to enemies and fiercely loyal to those he loves. Is Tommy a stoic? Throughout the series, Tommy is constantly battling external pressures, his enemies, the police, and even his own inner demons. Yet, he rarely loses control, keeping a calm, measured demeanor even in the most stressful situations. Tommy has an incredible ability to suppress his emotions and think strategically. Stoic Principle 1. Objective judgment. In Stoic terms, Tommy practices what Marcus Aurelius calls objective judgment. He focuses on the situation at hand, viewing it without letting his emotions cloud his judgment, always calculating his next step with a sense of duty and rationality. The Stoics teach that we can't control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. Tommy embodies this in every calculated move he makes, especially when he's up against formidable opponents like Inspector Campbell or the Mafia. Stoic Principle 2. Endurance through pain. Despite the trauma of war, the loss of loved ones, and his mental health struggles, Tommy never lets these experiences break him. In fact, he uses them as fuel for his ambition. Stoicism teaches us that suffering is inevitable, but it's how we respond to that suffering that defines us. Tommy shows us resilience in its purest form, no matter the personal cost. Next, we turn to Ada Thorne, who stands apart from her family by leading her own independent and rebellious life. But does her fierce independence, rebellious spirit, and sharp wit reflect stoic qualities? Fiercely independent. Unlike her brothers, Ada initially rejects the Shelby family's criminal lifestyle, choosing to carve her own path. She embraces progressive political ideas, aligning herself with the communist movement, and fights for her ideals, even when they go against her family's actions. Her independence from the family business makes her stand out as someone who holds her own beliefs, no matter the pressure. Strong-willed. Ada refuses to be controlled by the Shelby name or its expectations. She stands up to Tommy and the rest of her family when they try to pull her into their schemes, proving time and again that she won't be dictated to. Her ability to assert her autonomy, even among such strong personalities, shows her inner strength. Resilience in the face of tragedy. Despite suffering personal loss, including the death of her husband, Freddie Thorne, Ada doesn't let grief destroy her. Instead, she picks up the pieces and continues to live life on her terms. This resilience makes her one of the most emotionally strong characters in the series, adapting to power. Over the course of the series, Ada transforms from a young woman who distances herself from her family's criminal empire to someone who gradually steps into a position of power. She becomes involved in the business when it's necessary, but on her own terms. Her adaptability shows that she can handle herself in a world of violence and corruption, even though she doesn't embrace it fully. Assertive and witty. Ada has a sharp tongue and doesn't hesitate to speak her mind, even when it comes to Tommy. She's often the one to point out flaws or hypocrisies in her brother's plans, offering a different perspective with a combination of humor and intellect. Her confidence in voicing her opinions, even in dangerous situations, is a mark of her badassery. Protective nature. Though she distances herself from the Shelby crime world, Ada is fiercely protective of her family. When it comes to the safety and well-being of her brothers and their children, she steps in with strength and loyalty. Her willingness to navigate dangerous waters to protect those she loves shows she's not afraid to get involved when it matters most. Sophistication and grace. Unlike the overt physical toughness of her brothers, Ada's strength comes with a sense of elegance and class. She's well-educated and operates with a level of refinement that contrasts with the rougher side of the Shelby family. Her poise in high-stakes situations shows that she doesn't need brute force to command respect. Does Ada demonstrate stoicism? Ada's independence and commitment to her own values, separate from the Shelby family's legacy, closely align with Stoic principles. Stoic Principle 1. Living according to virtue. Ada distances herself from the violence and criminality of the Peaky Blinders, often criticizing Tommy's decisions. But what makes Ada a Stoic is her ability to live according to her own values, even when it means standing against her own family. Stoicism emphasizes living in accordance with virtue, and Ada is always driven by a sense of justice, fairness, and empathy. Even when she's pulled into family affairs, Ada remains grounded. Stoicism teaches us to stay true to our moral compass, even in the face of external pressures. Ada's refusal to succumb to the darker side of the Shelby family's activities is a powerful reflection of this. Stoic Principle 2. Accepting what is beyond control. Ada also understands that some things are beyond her control. Despite trying to keep her distance, she inevitably gets entangled in Shelby business due to her family ties. But instead of despairing or resisting, she accepts it with grace. This mirrors the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control and accepting the rest with equanimity. Lastly, we turn to Michael Gray, whose rise within the Shelby family is fueled by his ambition, cold calculation, and adaptability in their violent, cutthroat world. Though he begins as an outsider, Michael's transformation into a key player in the family business reveals his growing power and ruthless nature. Let's break down how Michael climbs the ranks. Ruthless ambition. Michael is driven by a fierce desire for power and control. As the son of Polly Gray, he views himself as an heir to the Shelby empire, and over time, he becomes increasingly ambitious. His confidence in his abilities and willingness to challenge Tommy for leadership makes him a formidable figure. This hunger for more, combined with his belief that he's the future of the family business, fuels his rise. Transformation from outsider to power player. Michael begins his journey as a sheltered outsider, living away from the Shelby family and unaware of their criminal activities. But when he's pulled into the fold, he quickly learns to navigate the dangerous world of crime. His transformation from a naive young man into a sharp, calculating businessman and enforcer showcases his adaptability and resilience. Cold calculation. Michael is incredibly strategic and calculating, showing a detached, business-like approach to running the Shelby family's American operations. He treats everything as a matter of profit and control, displaying a chilling focus on advancing his interests. This cold, emotionless approach to decision-making, even when it involves family, makes him a powerful and intimidating figure. Handling violence with precision. While not as impulsive as some of the other Shelby family members, Michael knows how to handle violence when necessary. He carries out brutal acts with precision and efficiency, never letting emotions cloud his judgment. This calmness in violent situations adds to his aura of control, showing that he's not afraid to get his hands dirty when it serves his goals. Defying Tommy Shelby. One of Michael's defining badass moments is his willingness to stand up to Tommy Shelby, the most powerful figure in the family. He sees himself as the future leader of the Peaky Blinders and believes he's more suited to modernizing the business. His boldness in challenging Tommy, a move that few would dare, proves he's not just another subordinate, but a serious contender for power, loyal to his own vision. Over time, Michael becomes more focused on his vision for the future, distancing himself from the Shelby family's traditional way of doing things. His desire to move operations to America and expand the business on his terms shows that he's willing to break away from the established order to pursue his goals. This independence and refusal to conform to the family's old ways mark him as a visionary, albeit a ruthless one. Resilience and confidence. Michael survives multiple crises, including imprisonment and exile, only to return stronger and more determined to take over. His ability to bounce back from setbacks and maintain his confidence in his future power shows his resilience. He doesn't shy away from conflict, even when it's with his family, and this fearlessness solidifies his status as a badass. Is he a stoic? Stoic Principle 1. Desire versus self-control. Michael's ambition is undeniable. In the earlier seasons, he shows self-discipline and clear thinking, aligning with the Stoic principle of controlling one's desires. Stoicism teaches that unchecked ambition can lead to downfall, and in his early years, Michael seems to understand this, showing restraint and aligning his goals with the family's needs. However, as his ambition grows, we see the clash between Michael's desire for power and the Stoic idea of controlling desire. His eventual conflict with Tommy shows what happens when the Stoic balance of ambition and virtue is lost. Stoic Principle 2. Fate and Resilience. In the later seasons, When Michael's plans fail, and he is essentially banished from the family business, he faces a critical Stoic challenge: how to accept defeat and move forward. While he initially struggles, Michael shows resilience, adapting to new circumstances and attempting to rebuild. His story reflects the Stoic concept of amor fati, the love of fate. No matter what life throws at you, you accept it and keep going. Though Michael ultimately veers away from true Stoic virtue due to his unchecked ambition, his resilience in the face of failure reflects some of the core tenets of Stoicism. In Peaky Blinders, the characters' Stoic qualities help them navigate a world full of violence, betrayal, and uncertainty. Tommy Shelby's emotional control and endurance, Ada Thorne's commitment to virtue and acceptance, and Michael Gray's resilience and struggle with ambition all offer fascinating examples of Stoic philosophy in action. Whether it's leading a gang, managing personal loss, or dealing with family conflict, the characters show us that the principles of Stoicism, control, virtue, and endurance, can be applied in even the most brutal of worlds. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. How do you see Stoic principles reflected in other characters from Peaky Blinders? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.